Hey everybody, this is Mike Bono from the North Andover Athletic Association, and you are listening to the Nightly News Podcast, the show that brings you inside the lines of North Andover High School athletics. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Nightly News Podcast. We have two very special guests here today, Jackie Rogers and Hannah Martin, the co-captains of the girls' varsity basketball team here at North Andover High. Welcome, girls. Welcome to the Nightly News Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
First podcast ever?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Very exciting. Very exciting. So you guys are heading to the tournament, MIA tournament, state tournament on Friday. Very exciting. Ranked number 8 in the state. It's been a great year. How would you assess how the year has gone so far, the regular season?
It's been really great. Like last year compared to this year, we've definitely stepped it up, and I think we've just worked really hard as a team on and off the court to bring us all together because the team chemistry is super important, and we've had a lot of fun doing it, so we're super excited for Friday.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd agree with everything Hannah said, but also just I feel like we've had some great wins over some really big teams and some close games with some awesome teams that are highly ranked in the power rankings. And I think this is definitely the best we've done. Both of us have been playing for 4 years, and this is the best we've done as a team in the last 4 years. And I think that's just credit to everyone on the team and how hard we've worked over these past 4 years and in the off season, and having everyone come back during fall ball and in the summer league. So I think that just to give credit to everyone there, I think that's like a big reason why our success has been so strong this season.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the MIA power rankings, that whole site. It seemed, based off of what I was looking at, you have the third most difficult schedule in the state, right, in Division I, behind Bishop Finn, who's ranked number 2, and Central, who was ranked 17th, who you guys beat a couple of times this year, right? So you wound up 14-6. 3 of those losses were against Andover, who is 21-0, right? Like obviously they are at the top, ranked number 1. But you also lost to St. Mary's, who's ranked number 1 in Division III with only 2 losses. You lost to Lincoln Sudbury, ranked 14, and then your most recent loss to Chelmsford. So yeah, I mean, very difficult schedule. Talk about Andover. Like what they're kind of at they're the real deal, right? Like they're the ones that you got to get through. Just talk about what it's like to play against them. What and they obviously have a few superstars.
Yeah. I would definitely say, well, we've played against all of those girls since middle school, so we know them very well. I just think they have a really good coach. They work really well together, and they've always worked really hard. And I think all of that combined together on the court, it's what leads to their success. They're just really tough people. Like, they are always getting loose balls, always very gritty and stuff like that. So it's really fun to play against them because that's the kind of competition you hope for all year long. So yeah, they're just always really tough.
Great.
Yeah. I think that they're so well coached, and they're very well disciplined. I feel like that's one of the hardest aspects to coach to play against them, because they're so well disciplined that they don't really break down ever throughout the game. So if we have a lapse, which has happened a couple times against them, they don't really ever have a lapse against us. We had 2 really close games against them, one time losing by 7, and then our other loss, we lost by 17, but we cut it to 4 in the fourth quarter, so we've had really close games against them. And I love playing against them just because it's always high energy and you're always going. Like, there's really never, like, their gym is crazy. It's always a ton of fans. Their coach, Bino, is very loud. Their bench is very loud, so it helps us keep up the energy, I think, every time we play against them, and set us up for these big games coming up, like in the tournament. Yeah,
I went from like 0 to 150 there. Like, I went right to Andover, but I mean, you have to obviously there are a few steps you have to overcome in order to get there. So first up is Weymouth, who handily beat Everett the other day. Do you guys have like film sessions? Like, how do you prepare for Friday without giving away any secrets to the other team?
Yeah, I mean, my dad and I actually went to the game last night to watch it. So we just like always watch film. We talk about it. We go through sets in practice. We try and learn them as best as we can, and also come up with things that we can do against them that maybe they don't know that we do. So just stuff like that. We watch film. We practice every day. We get up a lot of shots, all that kind of stuff, trying to get every aspect of the game before we play them.
Yeah, I know that throughout today I've made it through the first half of the Weymouth Everett game just watching on my own. They have a bunch of their games uploaded on their YouTube channel, so our coach told us about that, and I think some people have been watching. We'll definitely have a film session together as a team where we all watch and break down. And I think something going into the tournament is we've been working on some new plays to put in that way, like no one has seen some of the stuff we're going to be doing. So I think that's going to be once we get these plays and continue to run them over the next 2 days at practice, get them sharp for the tournament. I think that's really going to help because no one's seen them yet, so they don't really know what they're going to do yet to defend them.
Yeah, and talk about like how the team has evolved from. I mean, when you first set foot on the court back in late November, early December, to now we're March 1st, right? So, talk about how the team has grown to where now you actually can compete and go a long way in the tournament.
Yeah, I just think we've put a large emphasis on working really hard, especially this year. We kind of knew coming into it that we wanted to do better than last year, and we put in a lot of work in the summer and in the fall, and when we got on the court in December, we were kind of like, this is our year, especially for Jackie and I, it's our last year. And we knew we wanted to go into it with this goal of being really good and competing with all the hard teams that we play against. So every single day, I think we've really worked hard, pushed each other. We always come off the court sweating. We beg for water breaks sometimes. Just things like that. We've really pushed each other, and it's definitely paid off.
Yeah, and I think that this year, the team chemistry has been awesome. I think from starting in November and December, there were a couple new additions to the team and people that some of us have never played against or never played with. And I think that just throughout the season, we've gotten really close as a team through pasta parties and lunches and hanging out during the Booster Club volunteer stuff. So I think we've all gotten super close as a team, and I think that translates to the game and practices because we all trust each other and we all know we're there for each other during our practices and games, and just we all know how to push each other and get everyone engaged. And I think that this year people have been super engaged, and they always come to the optional shoot-arounds, and they came through again throughout the whole preseason. So I think that's just another thing we've just continued to develop over the years.
I was going to ask you about team culture because I every podcast I do, whether it be a coach or student athletes, culture is very important, right? Mm-hmm. And I think you would both agree that if everybody's sort of going in different directions, no matter how much talent you have, your success is going to be limited. So you mentioned pasta parties. Yeah. You mentioned the Booster Club, which I think, maybe that's worth mentioning. You guys, every Saturday or Sunday morning, you're going down to the high school and you're helping out. Just talk a little bit about what you guys are doing there. Yeah,
so every Sunday morning we have practice early in the morning, and then for 2 hours we'll work with grades K through 3. And we just do skills. We do all different kind of things like rebounding, dribbling, shooting, just getting involved with the younger kids. They really love it, and it makes us really excited to work with them and get more kids involved with the program so that hopefully when they get to high school, they'll want to continue playing and have success like we did. That's great. And I think you guys also volunteered with Lazarus House. Just talk briefly about what you guys did there.
Yeah, So I know my freshman year we got to go on site there and help out and organize the food and different stuff that we've donated. Over the past couple years with COVID, we haven't been able to go in person. This year we did a food drive at one of our games, and we also worked with I forget the name of it, a soup company where we had people donate money to buy bags of soup, and all those bags of soup went to the Lazarus House. So on top of the donations we raised at our basketball game on Friday night and the bags that were donated, those got sent to Lazarus House. Great. That's phenomenal. And I know, and just to take it a step further, I know, Hannah, you said you're working with Special Olympics, the basketball, the youth center. Jackie, you've done it before. What is that, how does that help you just, whether it keep you grounded or just appreciate what you're doing with your craft, playing basketball, or just giving back to the community? Yeah, kind of like you said, with Unified Basketball, when we first did it, I honestly didn't know how big of an impact it was going to have on me. One of our teammates was like, "Oh, you should come play," because it was during COVID, so we weren't playing any other sports, and we were like, "Yeah, sure." But
it became so like quickly such like a fun thing, and you become involved with this group of students that like you never really have another chance to work with in school, and you make friendships with them, and you get to teach them basketball, which is our favorite sport. So like just working with them has been such an amazing experience, and it was really, really fun.
Yeah, I think similar to working with the youth, like it was a great way to like share the love of basketball, like our love of basketball with other students and other people. And I think that it was great for us to be able to work with them and like help coach them through their shots and also guide them through the game. Like sometimes they would get, like if they didn't know what to do, like tell them where to pass it or tell them to shoot or tell them to play defense if they would forget. So I think just like helping guide them and sharing our love for the game with them was like really important to me.
That I love to hear that. That's great, and thank you for doing it. And you miss a shot, you lose a game. I mean, yeah, it stinks, but at the end of the day, in the grand scheme of life, right? It's okay. So the both of you just recently got some awards, earned awards given to you. Both of you were Hannah, you got first team all conference, and Jackie, you got second team all conference, along with your sister, sophomore Sydney Rogers. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
And Hannah, you 1,000-point scorer, the fifth girl in North Andover High School history to achieve 1,000 points. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
What's it mean to you to kind of get to 1,000 points?
I mean, it was kind of surreal. Like, at the beginning of the season, I remember, like, talking to my coach and my athletic director about it, and it was kind of like, you don't want to get your hopes up too early because then if it doesn't happen, you're really upset. So it was just, like, every day working my hardest to get towards that goal, but at the end of the day, it was much more than that. Like, it was having fun with the team and being successful as a team, and it was kind of just, like, an added bonus. And I do think I owe a lot of that success to my team because they've been so great and, like, encouraging me, helping me throughout my 4 years, especially this year. We've just had an awesome year. So it was a really great night, and I was really happy, and I was really happy my team was there with me to celebrate.
That's great. And Jackie, what's it like playing with your younger sister? You know, and she's starting, right? So you're both like on the floor quite a bit. Just talk about your relationship with Sid and how that's all sort of been this year.
Yeah, so especially this year, I've had the opportunity to play two sports with her. We were both on the soccer team and basketball team together, and she started for soccer as well. So I just think like not only having one opportunity to play together, but two really made my senior year special, and just especially on the athletic side, it's been such a big part of both of our lives. Being able to share that together, kind of our whole lives we've been working up to this moment to be able to play together. And so I think all the hard work we've put in since we were in second grade when we started basketball and first grade when we started soccer. I think all of that hard work and all of the playing in the backyard and shooting in the driveway kind of, that's how we got here. So it was really special last year for basketball when she made the team as a freshman. So we were super excited. I know my parents were very excited too to be able to watch us together on the field. So I think they probably were more excited than us to see us together on the field. But yeah, it was very special.
Well, they're good genes in both families, right?
Yeah, and I hope that, so obviously I graduate next year, but Alex will come in as a freshman, so I hope at some point in the next 2 years they'll get to play together in either soccer or basketball so they can have the same that me and Sid did.
I'm sure that will happen. Yeah. Who are your inspiration? Like, who's your favorite basketball player? I've never been asked that one.
No? I don't think so. I don't think I've ever been asked. I personally really like Marcus Smart. I just think that aside from like most people's favorite players or people that score the most, I just think he does a lot of things that are I know he just got Defensive Player of the Year, but he does like all of his hustle plays and his defensive plays. I think sometimes people forget about him and how important he is to a team, so it's nice, I think, to look up to someone like that on the defensive side of the game, because everyone talks about like, oh, LeBron James or people that score a ton, or Jason Tatum, who is always one of the leading scorers. And I think that Marcus Smart is just like a great person to look up to for like energy, enthusiasm, and just the way he plays and how he plays with heart on both ends of the floor. I think that's really an inspiration to me when I play basketball.
Yeah, I would say I've always loved watching the Stanford women's basketball team, so my favorite player right now is Haley Jones. She's just powerhouse on offense and defense, and watching her is really fun, so yeah.
I'm not a huge I wasn't a huge college basketball fan until this year because my son is a freshman at Villanova, so I started watching both the girls and the boys. They get this girl on the team, Maddie Segrist. I don't know if you ever heard her. She's like leading the country in scoring. She's amazing. So I've like kind of taken a liking to her and watching them, and hopefully they go pretty far in the tournament. But
yeah, I think especially this year, college women's basketball has been like so big with South Carolina, LSU, Caitlin Clark on Iowa. Like I think just watching all of those players is aside from like the NBA and pro sports is just like a huge inspiration to see. Like I know recently LSU just broke the LSU basketball record for both men and women for people in attendance at a game. So I think that's just like awesome to see like how women's sports are developing and how they just broke a record at their school. So just like things like that are great to look up to.
That's great. And so as you look forward to the tournament, what is it going to take for you guys? You know, I think if you had to put some money on it, you'd say, well, okay, based off of your rankings, how the season's gone, Weymouth. I mean, you can't overlook anybody, right? You never know. You see what happens in the March Madness and all that stuff. But what's it going to take you? Because last year, you guys lost to Central, right, in the round of 16.
Yep.
And so I'm sure the round of 8 is not where you want to go. Like, you want to get to that Final Four and you want to get to that final game. What's it going to take to get there?
I just think for us, one of the things we've focused on all year is like staying together. On the games that we've lost, I definitely think it was like a lapse of team effort. It was definitely individual, or we just sometimes like get in these habits of not working together. And I think our coach and Jackie and I try our best to encourage everyone to stick together. And if things aren't going well, to take a deep breath, calm down, don't let the other team speed us up. And I definitely think that is what's going to lead us to success all throughout the tournament.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's also going to bring us success in the tournament is just when we get out on the court, like know that we're prepared for this game, whether it's through our walkthroughs when we walk through the other team's plays because we've watched their film. Like when we get out onto the court, like we all like know and we all trust each other enough to know that we can take care of whatever's going to happen. And I know like throughout this whole season we've always been saying like if we take care of it on the defensive side of things, like our offense will take care of itself. So I think that that's going to be like a huge thing for us. Like as long as we stay disciplined on defense and do what we talk about and make sure they don't get any easy plays that we've like reviewed, I think that will be a great thing for us. And I feel like most of our games where we've had huge successes, especially like when we were super close against Andover, it's because we played defense exactly the way like our coaches planned it out for us. So I think that that's going to be a huge thing coming into this postseason.
Great. I mean, confidence goes a long way, and it's your senior year, right? Like you don't get it back, and you just got to take it all in. And I mean, you've been through it, Jackie, with soccer already, right? Like you've had an end of season, and so I know, Hannah, you're going off to play at Smith next year. Congratulations!
Yeah. Thank you.
Must be very exciting.
Yeah.
Especially to like have that all locked in. Jackie, I think I've asked you probably 5 or 6 times in the last like however many months. Any idea? Like this is like you're in the heart of it right now, right? Like it's March, it's decision time.
I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple of schools, so I'm still waiting to decide. I know that wherever I go, I'm gonna try to play club basketball, so I can just stay into it because I'm not really ready to let it go yet. So like that's the one thing I do know that I'm gonna do. I'm not really sure where I'm gonna go yet though.
Yeah. It's a tough decision.
Yes.
Like who the heck knows at 18 years old, 17, 18, where you want to go to school. Anything else that you guys want to share with everybody? I mean, we're going to try to rock the house down. We want everybody to come out. It's 5:30 on Friday night at Crozier Fieldhouse. We need it to be loud. We need everybody in attendance.
I just think. So we play a doubleheader with the boys on Friday, which is awesome because we can get the whole community there in one night to support not just us but the boys team as well. And I think that that's an awesome opportunity where both teams get to watch each other. With the way our schedules are, when we have a game, they normally have a game away or they're home and we're away. So there's been very few times this year where we've been able to watch them and they've been able to watch us. So the fact that we're both home for a playoff game, we both seated high enough to be at home first round, and we get to play together on the same night and have the town with us together on that night. I think that's really special, and I'm looking forward to watching them play as most of them have told us that they're going to come to our game before, and we get to stay to watch them after. So I think that's awesome that we both get to see each other in the playoffs.
Great. Well, I I said last time that my sidekick, Al Purdy, was going to be here for the next podcast. And, of course, he's not here because he's working. But Al is going to do the podcast for the boys. And so that'll be up before Friday. But obviously wish them luck. They're playing at 7 or 7:15 or something right after your team. And then hopefully, you go a long way. And we'll give you all the support that you need. Best of luck.
Thank you.
And like I said, take it all in. Senior year, give it all you got, and you get the whole town rooting for you. So
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you, just spending some time, letting us get to know you both a little bit, especially during tournament time. And I have one more thing I got to mention to everybody that I didn't mention at the outset, and that is the Night of Comedy on April 8th at the Clatter. Doors open at 7. Comedy starts at 8. NAAnights.org. You can purchase tickets there. I know Al's been tweeting stuff out about it, but get your tickets before they sell out. Again, thank you, girls. Best of luck in the tournament, and
Thank you so much.
we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Yeah.